Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, man, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives. And that's what we're going to do right now in this video, man. We're going to stop the lies, stop the narratives, and set the record straight on Kenny Smith, man. Kenny Smith. My goodness, man. I'm telling you, every time I wake up, you guys send me another clip of some ex-NBA player saying something that don't make any sense. It doesn't even make any sense. These guys do not speak with the truth, man. They don't even care anymore to make sense. And Kenny Smith, this clip was from a couple of days ago. I was sent this clip, man. And Kenny Smith, I believe this was on opening night, the tip-off on opening night. And Kenny Smith has LeBron James ranked number 2 in the NBA. I didn't even know this. He actually had LeBron James ranked number 2 in the NBA right now, currently. This is not all time. This is currently in the league. He has LeBron James as the second best player in the NBA right now. And we're going to talk about this video because, once again, I have no problem with people's opinions, but your opinion must be based off of reality and the facts. You must be able to substantiate your opinion with some kind of, like I said, tangible evidence or something. Explain it. And Kenny could not explain it. That's what I'm talking about. These guys can't explain their opinions or their stances. They can't explain it. They can't break it down. And we're going to talk about this video because he's sounding stupid as hell, man. And I really like him, but he's sounding dumb. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel, guys. Once again, I am truly humbled. Shout out to everybody in the membership, man. Thank you very much, guys. Like I said, guys, it means a lot for you guys to be rolling with me. I know my videos aren't fancy or flashy, man. So much respect to all you guys out there, the true basketball fans, man. We can't stand up against this stuff. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, excuse me for a second, man. Take some water. So I was sent this clip, guys, of inside, what is it, the TNT crew with Kenny Smith, Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal. And I like the dynamic between these guys. I always appreciated, the TNT crew, especially Charles Barkley, because like I said, he's got a good personality, he's got the charisma, and he's not afraid to say what he means, or just say things in general. So I always appreciated the TNT crew. I always liked those guys, man. And I was sent this clip of, like I said, it was the opening night. And they were talking about player rankings. And Kenny Smith actually had the nerve to rank LeBron James number 2. Number 2. And once again, this is not all-time rankings. This is not, he has LeBron James ranked number 2 all time. No, this is rankings for the current state of the NBA. Currently, he had LeBron James ranked number 2. Now, I've told you guys on this channel also, I have no problem with people's opinions. Anyone can have an opinion. You can say that a lot of things on my channel is all my opinions here, man. But I give you guys facts. I give you guys context and perspective on whatever you want to say is my opinion. I'm giving you guys the background on this stuff. Once again, man, I'm not just out here yelling and just talking nonsense in the camera here. I'm giving you guys perspective. I'm giving you guys the historical context behind a lot of the stuff that I grew up watching in the 80s and the 90s. I'm not just speaking stuff. It's my opinion. I'm backing it up with the context and the information, guys. I'm explaining it to you. When I listen to a lot of these guys speak, and we've talked about this in the past, whether it's Rasheed Wallace make some comments about Michael Jordan on the defensive end, or it's Gilbert Arenas talking about guys from the 80s and the 90s, and they weren't great athletes, or we hear someone say that these guys were not skilled back in the day. Whatever the case may be, when we listen to these guys speak, right, what do I always tell you? You must be able to explain it. You have to be able to explain it. When J.R. Smith talks about Kyrie Irving's the greatest scorer of all time, and Michael Jordan's not even close to him, you have to be able to explain that position. You must be able to explain it to us and break it down. You must be able to, because once again, your opinion is not going to be valid if it's not based off reality or based off of any factual information. Anything factual, tangible that you can explain, that you can look at and point to and say, yes, this shows how Kyrie Irving's a greater scorer than Michael Jordan. There was nothing for J.R. Smith to break down or explain because there is no way to explain it. It's not explainable. We understand what I'm saying here. Same thing with Rasheed Wallace. He couldn't break it down. What did he say? Oh, I saw Michael Jordan get cooked. I saw Michael Jordan get... That's your explanation for saying that Michael Jordan's not that great of a defensive player? No, you sound like an idiot, Rasheed Wallace. Same thing with the guys that say these things that don't make sense. Isaiah Thomas, he'll say some nonsense, and then you go pull up video of him contradicting himself, a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever the case may be. So once again, I have no problem with people's opinions, but you must be able to explain your opinion. You must be able to explain it. And you must be able to, like I said, you have to give us some factual evidence. So when Kenny the Jet Smith makes the claim that LeBron James is still the number 2 player in the league, you know what his explanation was? This man literally said that to Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley immediately pushed back on this, right? And he told Charles Barkley, he goes, and you tell me who else can lead their team across all statistics. This is what we're going with? And he said to lead the team. LeBron James not leading the team. Once again, Kenny Smith, you sound ridiculous, man. LeBron James is not leading the Lakers. He's not leading the Lakers. He hasn't been leading the Lakers for a long time. So once again, you're talking about who can lead their team in more areas? What areas are we talking about here? Statistically, he's talking about, once again, it goes back to the stats for these guys. They're not living in reality. And once again, LeBron James not leading them statistically. He won't lead them statistically. And once again, the stats in this era are inflated. No one gives a damn about the stats in this era. Everything's inflated. I'm talking about the impact on the court, man. LeBron James ain't playing no defense. He played no defense. Without Anthony Davis on that team on the defensive end, the Lakers don't barely win any games, man. Without Anthony Davis on the defensive end being that anchor, the Lakers are not. They're not doing anything. And Kenny Jet Smith won't talk about that, though. He won't talk about the defensive end for LeBron James. He's talking about LeBron James leading the Lakers in all these areas. He's number 2 at leading a team. Number 2 at leading a team right now. It don't add up. So once again, I tell you guys, these guys cannot explain any of their positions. Kenny Jet Smith also went to proceed to say that LeBron James was the best player on the Olympic team. Once again, even if we wanted to say that was true, which we do not, we know that that's not true. But even if LeBron James was the best player in the Olympics, what the hell does that have to do with the regular season in the NBA? I'm pretty sure LeBron James was playing with Steph Curry, with Kevin Durant, with Joel Embiid, right? With Bam Adebayo and Devin Booker and all these guys that were on that team, right? Jason Tatum, right? Some of these guys that were on that team. So once again, LeBron James is playing on a stacked Olympic team. And that's what Kenny Jet is going to use, or Kenny Jet Smith is going to use to explain LeBron James being ranked number 2 in the NBA this season. And he tried to, once again, make a narrative. Oh, LeBron James was the best. I watched the Olympics, he said. LeBron James was the best player in the Olympics. And Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal said, no, he wasn't. It was Steph Curry. And then Kenny Jet Smith had the nerve to say this. He said, yeah, Steph Curry was the best player for 2 games. And Charles Barkley and Shaq said, yeah, the most important 2 games, the 2 games that they needed to win. And then Kenny Jet Smith once again making excuses saying, well, you got to get to those games. What? The USA was a heavily favorite for the Olympics, like they should have been, heavily favored to win the gold medal. So Kenny Jet wants you to believe that the 2 biggest games that the USA team played in, that they were actually had a chance to lose, they're not more important than the other games against South Sudan and Puerto Rico. Like, are you kidding me right now, man? You sound ridiculous, Kenny Jet Smith. Basically, what you're saying is that LeBron James was not the best player in the 2 most important games, and the 2 most critical games, and the 2 most high-pressure games. LeBron James was the best player in those games, but he was the best player in the Olympics, even though when it mattered most, he was not the best player. It doesn't add up. Kenny Smith doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Once again, these guys have no integrity. No integrity, man. Kenny Smith, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? LeBron James being the best player in the Olympics, and that have anything to do with the NBA regular season? Because once again, LeBron James was clearly not the best player in the Olympics. He wasn't the best shooter. He's not the best ball handler on the team. He wasn't the best playmaker on the team. He wasn't the best defensive player on the team. None of this stuff. LeBron James was out there doing what LeBron James does normally. Barreling into people, and once again, deferring at the end of games when it mattered most. LeBron James wasn't taking those big-time shots in those key games that Kenny Smith wants to just dismiss like they didn't matter when he was going against Serbia, where they were actually losing and getting blown out in that game. Where was LeBron James then? He was nowhere to be found in that game. It was Steph Curry and Kevin Durant that brought the USA team back in that game where they were losing. And in the France game, at the end, when France was coming back, it was a very close game the whole way. Even though the USA was winning, at the end of that game, who was it? It was once again Steph Curry keeping the French team at bay, keeping them at arm's distance, and securing the win for USA. Not LeBron James. LeBron James out there getting dunked on, right? Not playing any defense like that. Deferring to guys like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, right? backing down in the moments that count the most. It wasn't LeBron James, but Kenny Smith wants you to believe that LeBron James was the best player on that team, even though he wasn't the best player when it mattered most on that team. LeBron James was great against South Sudan. Is that what you're saying, Kenny Smith? He was great against Puerto Rico? Like, is that what we're really saying here? Once again, I'm not impressed with what LeBron James was doing against the lesser teams. When the competition got stiffer and the pressure got ratcheted up and the USA was on the ropes, LeBron James was nowhere to be found. It was Steph Curry who came through, who was the best player on that team, who should have been the MVP. But once again, they wanted to give LeBron James some fake accolade that doesn't even matter to anyone else but LeBron James and his fans. And Kenny Jet Smith wants to tell you LeBron James is the best player on the Olympic team. No one believes that, man. You sound ridiculous, Kenny Jet Smith. Once again, you lost all integrity, man. But anyway, what does that have to do with the NBA regular season? And LeBron James is the number 2 best player in the league still? And Kenny Jet Smith couldn't give you any reasons why. He just said that LeBron James can lead his team in all areas. That doesn't make any sense. What does it even mean? He can lead his team in all areas more than or better than anyone else in the league? He said the only player, I think he had Giannis number 1. So you had Giannis 1, LeBron James number 2. I don't even know what his list looked like. I don't know what it is, 1 through 10 or whatever the case may be. But his list is ridiculous, man. If you have LeBron James number 2, because once again, you have Anthony Davis ranked behind LeBron James when Anthony Davis is the one leading the Lakers. He's leading them. He's leading them in scoring. He's leading them in rebounds. He leads them on the defensive end. I mean, like, what are we talking about here? He actually played more games than LeBron James last season. He's played more games than LeBron James over the last 2 seasons. But he's talking about LeBron James can lead his team in all areas more than anyone else in the league except for Giannis? That doesn't even make any sense. What about Nikola Jokic? He's not leading his team in all areas? Luka Doncic is not leading his team in all areas? Like, I'm confused. Like, what does he mean, leading his team in all areas? LeBron James don't lead them in any of the areas. He takes the most shots to score the most points on the Lakers. Okay. And once again, he does it on a team that's fighting for a plane every year. So where's the impact from LeBron James? They're not talking to you about the impact. Anthony Davis is the impactful player on that team. He makes an impact on both sides of the ball. Not LeBron James, Kenny Smith. So what the hell are you talking about? I don't even know how I go through these videos without cursing so much. Because the things that these guys say, it don't make any sense, man. And I just want to be, dude, you're an effing idiot. LeBron James is number 2 in the league right now. Number 2 in the league right now, LeBron James or Kenny Smith. They should have fired Kenny Smith right there on the spot for that. I would have fired him right there from inside the TNT or inside the NBA, whatever the hell it's called, man. I would have fired him right there. You have LeBron James ranked number 2, and I believe Shaq had him ranked number 5. Charles Barkley was the only guy holding on to some sort of integrity. He had LeBron James ranked number 11, which makes more sense than anywhere near top 10. But Shaq had him 5, and Kenny Smith had him 2. How? Only Giannis is better than LeBron James right now? See, these are the narratives that they're trying to feed you. They want you to believe that LeBron James in year 22 is still the second best player in the league. So once again, this either exposes LeBron James or exposes this era of NBA. How great could this era of NBA be? How skilled could these guys be if LeBron James in year 22 is still the second best player in the league, even though he has no ball handling skills, can't shoot the ball worth the lick, no leadership, don't play any defense like that. He's the second best player in the league right now. That's how weak this league is, according to Kane and Jet Smith. That's how weak it is. The league is so weak that LeBron James is number 2 right now in the league at 40 years old, damn near, who don't play any defense, who don't do anything out there except shoot shots. He's not leading the team anywhere. He's not leading them in assists. He's not leading them in rebounds. He's not leading them in scoring. And I told you going into the season, he wasn't going to be anywhere near that. But Kenny J. Smith has a number 2. Number 2. So I thought that ESPN's list was bad. I didn't even realize that Kenny J. Smith had this insane take. And once again, he couldn't explain it. He didn't say anything about the game. Oh, LeBron James still one of the best offensive scorers in the league right now. No, he's not. He didn't break it down like that. Is LeBron James one of the best rebounders in the NBA? No, he's not. Is LeBron James one of the best defenders in the league? No, he's not. So how the hell is he number 2 in the NBA? How is he the best player on his team, Kenny Smith? You still haven't explained it. You can never explain it because there is no explanation for this. And this is what I'm telling you guys, man. Anytime you hear these ex-NBA players speak or you hear these guys talking on podcasts, whatever the case may be, and you hear whatever take they have, whatever take it is, they can never explain it. When you try to listen to them explain their take, this is where they get exposed, ladies and gentlemen. Like when you hear Gilbert Arenas and some of the takes that he has, when you hear him trying to explain it, he sounds stupid. Because Gilbert Arenas is not educated on the facts. He don't know the history of the game, and he doesn't respect the history of the game. He's disingenuous. J.J. Redick, you ever hear him trying to explain something? Couldn't explain. He couldn't break it down the 80s and the 90s because he don't know what he's talking about. Colin Cowherd, did you hear the things that he was saying during the Olympics this past summer? Did you hear what he was saying about the 92 Dream Team? You can tell he has no idea what he's talking about. No clue what he's saying. Listen to these guys when they try to break down the Olympics. These guys were saying the 92 Dream Team couldn't shoot. Like, really? No, those guys had no shooters on their team. They were saying this stuff. They were trying to talk about how Anthony Davis would destroy any of the big men on the 92 Dream Team. He's talking about Bam Adebayo was bigger than any of the guys on the 92 Dream Team. They can't break it down and explain it, though, because there is no explanation. Those guys can't shine the shoes of a David Robinson or Patrick Ewing. Can't shine their shoes, Bam Adebayo or Anthony Davis, man. Just can't. But Colin Cowherd is going to tell you otherwise. These guys couldn't shoot. Like, what? They couldn't shoot. Larry Bird couldn't shoot. Michael Jordan couldn't shoot. John Stockton couldn't shoot. Chris Mullin couldn't shoot. What the hell are we talking about? Patrick Ewing is literally one of the greatest shooting big men in the history of the game. But they couldn't shoot. So once again, I want you guys to listen to these guys' opinion, and I want you guys to listen to how they try to explain it. And that will expose them and their lack of honesty and their lack of overall knowledge about what they're speaking on. They can't explain it. Kaden Jet-Smith played in the 80s and the 90s. He played. Once again, exposing this idea just because you played in the league that you know more than me and you, or you're going to be honest. Kaden Jet-Smith, you can't be honest with yourself. There's no way that you could be honest with yourself, that you're being honest, that you have LeBron James at number 2. I'm at a loss for words almost. I don't even know what else to say about this. There's no way that you could have LeBron James as the second best player in the league. And once again, I got to tell you, he couldn't even explain it. He said LeBron James can lead his team in all statistics, all categories. What the hell does that even mean? That doesn't mean anything, Kane Smith. And then he talks about LeBron James being the best player on the Olympic team. What does that even have to do with the NBA regular season, Kenny Smith? What does that have to do with anything? You're trying to say he was the best player on a stacked Olympic team? Really? When we know he wasn't. And you got exposed when Shaq and Charles Barkley called you out and they said that he wasn't the best player. And then what did you say? Oh, for 2 games he wasn't. For 2 games, the most important games. What the hell are you talking about? The 2 most difficult games when they were going against their biggest challenge in the medal games. That's where LeBron James should have rose his level of play, right? Once again, they're not holding LeBron James to a standard. So LeBron James can lollygag and he can put up numbers against these mediocre teams that didn't matter at all. Against Puerto Rico and against the South Sudan or against an Australian team or something like that. LeBron James can put some numbers up against those teams that did not push back or give any challenge to the USA. But as soon as they played a real team like Serbia, as soon as all of a sudden they were losing, they had their backs against the wall. LeBron James ain't there. He's not the best player now. Against France, he wasn't the best player. It's the same thing for his regular season career. His career. LeBron James, right? They'll tell you all game long, LeBron James dominates the game. All game long, LeBron James will dominate. He'll be driving into the paint, doing all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, the last couple of minutes come, and LeBron James completely changes his way of a game, or his approach to the game. He completely changes it. This is LeBron James. It's been his MO his entire career. But Kenny Jet-Smith don't want you to talk about those 2 games and the Steph Curry and the things that Steph Curry was doing, the things that Kevin Durant was doing to carry LeBron James, to basically save him at the end of those games. When LeBron James was breaking up shots and being afraid to take shots, deferring to those guys, but Kenny Jet-Smith was the best player in the Olympics. Once again, a narrative that they're trying to feed you. Can't explain it. LeBron James is nowhere near the second best player in the league right now. And for Kaden Jet-Smith to have him ranked number 2, like I said, they should probably take him off TV for that. Me and you should switch places, Kenny Smith. Me and you should switch. I'll take over your spot because, like I said, you kind of lost credibility here, man. I've lost a lot of respect for Kaden Jet-Smith when I saw him saying that. And then, like I said, not only did you not give any evidence to back it up, but then when Charles Barkley pushed back on you, you actually tried to make Charles Barkley look stupid. You tried to make it seem like he didn't know what he was talking about. Oh, LeBron James is the best player in the Olympics. Like, and you said it so matter-of-factly. You sound like an idiot, man. Like a straight clown, Kenny Smith. And Charles Barkley was right. LeBron James is nowhere near a top 5 player in the league, a top 10 player in the league still. And you couldn't explain it one bit. And for you to bring up the Olympics as a reasons why you had him number 2 doesn't add up. because you say that LeBron James can lead a team in statistics, can lead his team in all areas, but he don't play defense. How is he leading his team in all areas? I tell you right now, these guys never talk about defense, ever. They never even bring it up anymore. But we're supposed to put these guys in the same sentences as the other all-time greats that went against defenses, that played in an era where they played defense? He says he can lead his team in all areas. He's not leading them in all areas. He's leading them in turnovers and shots taken. That's it. Nothing else. Not leadership. He's not a leader. He's not a leader. If he was really leading them, then where's Darvin Ham? Where's Luke Walton? Where's Frank Vogel? Where's all the teammates that he's traded on and off this team over the last 4 or 5 years? Where's his leadership? How many times he walked up the court, Kenny Smith? You won't talk about that? But he's leading the team? How many times did LeBron James stand around on defense, not get back, and the team's playing 4 and 5? But LeBron James tells his teammate and says to the reporter, we have to get back on D. We have to get our asses back on D. This guy takes no accountability. But Kenny Smith won't talk about that, though, right? He won't talk about any of those things that LeBron James does not do. LeBron James arguing calls on the court during a play when your team gets all the calls. What are you arguing about? Your team gets all the calls. There's no need to cry about it. Kenny Smith won't talk about that, though. And we're supposed to respect these guys, like I said, opinions. And this is why I don't respect a lot of these guys' opinions, and their opinions ain't worth a damn. They're not, because they can't back their opinion up with anything substantial, anything tangible, anything that's solid, or anything that's actually true. LeBron James is nowhere near the number 2 player in the league right now. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. He's not even the best player on his team. And Kenny Smith won't give Anthony Davis any credit, man. Won't give him any credit. Won't even mention him. LeBron James, the leader. That's it. Sounds ridiculous, man. You guys know the deal, man. These are the facts here. LeBron James is not even the best player on his team, but Kenny Smith says he's the second best player in the league. And once again, this exposes this era of NBA then. If this guy can be the second best player in the league, the way that he plays the game, he would not be the second best player in the 90s at this point in time in his career. He wouldn't be the second best player in the 80s playing like this, or in the 70s or the 60s, the 50s, the 2000s. No. But right now in the 2020s, he's second best player in the league playing no defense, right? No defense. Load managing, not getting back on defense, walking around the court, crying and moaning for foul calls, even though you get all the foul calls. Folded up at the end of games, still airballing free throws, still blaming the teammates, not taking any accountability, not being a leader. Kenny Smith says he's the leader, though. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.